Karen418 and I'm back with another video. This is Thank God It's Finished, or TGIF, and I am going to be sharing about life, knitting, yarn stuff, crafting in general, all the good stuff. Today is Friday, August 14th, 2020. It's a hot one here. It's a busy one for me, but it's been a while since I've seen you. So, what has been going on in my life, our life? Not too much and everything all at the same time. We took the dogs down to Massachusetts for their appointments. Dewey saw the cardiologist, and unfortunately he is in late stages of heart disease, on the cusp of congestive heart failure, which is ultimately what took Mia from us. But we've started him on some medication, and we're going to just enjoy every day that we have left with him. I can say that a little calmly now. It was a mess for a while. Okay, side note, this is where I had my surgery to remove the tumor, and where they shaved my hair is starting to grow back, and it's constantly sticking up. There's like nothing I can do about it, and it drives me crazy. Anyway, so don't mind my little wispies. They're just a part of life now. Back to the dogs. Max saw neurology, which thought he looked great. It was his first meeting with them. They did think he has wobblers, which is what we suspected. And we're told he didn't, and we couldn't be sure without an MRI, which is true, but he has all the signs of wobblers. They said his gait has declined a little bit more, but they were ultimately happy with him. They were ecstatic with how long it's been since he has had a seizure. It has been over a year since Max has had a seizure with his current medication, so that is awesome. Then he saw his internal medicine doctor for his PLE, which is protein losing enteropathy, one of those. It just means that his body does not hold on to protein the way it's supposed to, and there are two possible causes for that. One is that there is something wrong in the digestive tract, usually a tumor or an enlargement of some sort. And the other is an allergy, and Max's is an allergy. Max is allergic to chicken and beef, so we changed his food again, and let me tell you, it is a world of difference. The food is astronomically expensive. However, if we don't have to run to the vet every 2 weeks like we usually do to have his blood drawn because of the quality of his bowel movements, for lack of a better word, then we'll be saving money in the long run. And we did learn that an elevated ALT in dogs, which is a liver number, liver something enzyme, I don't know what it is, a liver number. So an elevated ALT alone in dogs is a sign of anaphylaxis. So he's on new food. He's doing great. So hopefully we can get him off the liver medication soon, and we'll know in a couple weeks. We're having his blood checked in 2 more weeks because she wanted a 4-week check, and we always try and go 4 weeks, but we've never been able to make it 4 weeks in the last 6 months or so, because there's always been signs that something is going on, and we've always been right. But knock on wood, there have been no incidents since we changed the food. And we changed the food in 4 days, which is something we never would have done either, and had no adverse effects. So that's great. Other life stuff. We went camping, not last weekend, the weekend before, just locally for a 3-night, 4-day weekend, and it was lovely. The dogs had a great time. We had beautiful weather. I was able to sit outside and knit and just relax, and it was lovely, as I said. Something just fell. People were pretty respectful of space, and it was a nice, quiet campground. Had a great time. Today I worked in the garden, or I should say the garden graveyard, And I pulled out all the plants, a lot, mostly lettuce that had bolted, and planted some new lettuce. And then I got rid of some plants that just were not meant to be for us. We got blossom blossom bottom rot on some of our tomato plants, so we got rid of those. And our zucchinis were just not meant to be. They're not meant to be. We got one puny zucchini, so I planted some more lettuce, and there's plenty of time for lettuce. And I planted some green beans, and it says 54 days. We'll see. That'll be kind of hit or miss, but I know green beans can stand the cold a little more. I don't think we'll have had a frost by the second week of October, but we'll see. I mean, it was only 10 little seeds, so that's okay. Other than that, things have been relatively quiet. We are planning another camping trip later on down the road before it gets too cold. So I will talk more about that as we get closer and or when we get back from that trip, because we are kind of in limbo deciding if we're going to go. We're waiting to see what's going to happen with the coronavirus and if things are going to explode again. We want to make sure if we're traveling, we're doing so safely. And then I have something going on in my family that I want to see how that continues to develop before I rush off to 6 hours, 6, 8, 9 hours away. Not that I couldn't get back to where my family is if I needed to, so. But I'd like to have a better idea, we all would, of how that is going to play out, so. Alright, so I'm like 7 or 8 minutes in, and I haven't talked anything about crafting, so let's jump right into it with some finished objects. The last time I saw you, I showed you Sadie's The Last Unicorn sweater, which I tested for Bad Wolf Girl Knits, and I wove in the ends and blocked it. I love this sweater. Actually, did I show you Sadie's or did I show you Sophie's? Let's see, I think I showed you Sophie's. Yeah, I showed you Sophie's. So this is a new one for you. This is Sadie's The Last Unicorn sweater. All the ends are woven in, and it is blocked. This is knit in a size. You ready for this? My 6-year-old niece. This is a size 10. She is a tall girl. She's a tall girl. So this is hers with purple hearts because purple is her favorite color. And here is Sophie's, which you've already seen, with the ends woven in and blocked. And this is knit in the 12 to 18 month size because my sister has children that grow like weeds. They are long children. So I don't know. I made short sleeves because I don't know if she'll be wearing it towards the end of winter. If she is, then she can wear it without like something underneath. But if she's big enough to wear it during the winter, which I think she's going to be, she can wear it with a long sleeve like onesie or something under it if they're worried about her getting cold. So those are finished. And then in the pattern there was also a hat. So I knit this one for Miss Sophie with a pink Sophie. I did a duplicate stitch, and you'll notice here I messed up the rainbow, but that's okay because when I made Sadie's, I made sure I made the same mistake again, and Sadie's is big enough to fit me with a, what are these called? A clip in my hair. So Sadie has seen them. Sophie probably has seen them, but I didn't get her reaction. And Sadie loves them. So now that I've shown you these, I can put these in the mail. And I finally got to use these Fun Fur pom-poms that I bought years ago. And I love how they came out. So sister sweaters and sister hats. And that is all that I finished. I have been working a little bit on some whips. The first whip I have been working on is the Vivid blanket. Let me see if I have a picture of it here. This is by Tin Can Knits. It's Pay for a Pattern. And I am knitting this all out of Stylecraft DK Batik. And I've made 3 more blocks. I made 1 peach and 2 in this purple color. So this is what I have so far. My goal is 42. I am in the middle. I got too tired last night. I couldn't keep binding off. I'm in the middle of binding off this one. And I think this weekend I'm going to start blocking these squares with those fancy blocking wires I showed you a couple weeks ago. And I do have a couple more colors that I'm going to be ending in. I'm going to add this green, a light pink, a blue that looks a little purple on the screen, but it's blue, trust me, and this like raspberry color. Is this raspberry color already in there? No. So there's 16 colors in all, and as I mentioned, I'm going to do 42 squares. 42, I think. I hope. I did start 1 new project, and this was from my goals, which I am failing at my goals, but that's okay. It is the Bits and Bobs blanket. And I am knitting this out of a speckled yarn held with a magic cake of all my leftover sock yarns. And my speckled yarn throughout the blanket is going to change also because I don't have enough of any one speckled yarn to knit the whole blanket. So this is a fun project. I actually started this down in Boston. I'll show you half of it, I guess. It is easy to lose your space though, and it is not the easiest to think back on and figure out what the heck you did wrong, but I think I've figured it out, and quite honestly, this is for Kristen and I. If it's not perfect, it's just not perfect. I mean, it's taken me 41 years to sometimes be okay with not having perfection. Sometimes. So that'll be going on forever. I mean, that's my new Scrappy Happy blanket. Speaking of my Scrappy Happy blanket, it's sitting in a bag next to me. It hasn't been touched in 2 months, maybe 3 months, but I'll get back to it. That's more of something I work on in the cooler months because it's pretty heavy. The other whip that I had last time were the sock blank socks, and I do not enjoy them, and I think I am going to frog those and start over. I'm learning that I like really plain socks. I like the the Pebbles socks, and I like plain vanilla socks, and that's about it. And that's okay. Next, what are my plans? I still would like to make some dresses for the girls. Sadie asks me almost every time I talk to her if I've made her a dress yet. Everything I knit her, she says, "Can it be a dress? Can it be a dress? Can it be a dress?" Because she said, "I've done it before, I can do it again." Smart kid. And then one for Sophie. I kind of want to knit her a Clara dress, but I think she's going to be too big by the time it would be time to wear it again. So we'll see. I still need to make some mini albums, and I need to pull out Kristen's cabled sweater. I'm thinking September might be the best time to do that because it'll be a little cooler, and that's what I'm planning on anyway. Auntie Craft Camp. Last week we did sock puppets, and let me tell you, it was pretty fun. So this is my first sock puppet, and her name is No. Yes, and I'll put a picture up with Sadie because she made JoJo, like JoJo Siwa. So here's No, and I was informed I needed to put something on her cheek, so I did. So this is No. And then she wanted to make a second one because we had 2 socks. So I made another one, and this is Grandma Go-Go. There's my other one. I am loving Auntie Craft Camp. I don't know if there's an Auntie Craft Camp this week. I've been pretty busy, and I haven't heard from my sister. So we will see. There could be. It would have to be over the weekend if it is, so stay tuned. I did ask Kristen and Tom this morning if they would make me some shelves that I found on Pinterest, because I would like to put all my Auntie Craft Camp projects up there, so that I can admire them. Not admire them, I can just see them and remember all this time I've had with Sadie. Let's talk for a second about my craft room. Over late winter, early spring, I started seriously working on my craft room. And I made a video about it, and my craft room right now is in despair. It's in despair. It's getting better in terms of organization of what I have organized, but then there's all the other stuff that I don't have organized. I have made a decision, and I listed this morning the Gracie, the quilt frame, for sale on the yard sale site. I figure it's going to take a while to sell, and I'm just putting it out there and see if anybody's interested in it, because it is too big for my space. It's too big. It takes up too much space, too much real estate, and every time I see it, I get annoyed that I'm not using it, angry that I'm not using it, and anxious because it's just taking up so much space, and it makes me feel closed in. So I listed it up on the garage sale site. Keep your fingers crossed that someone would like to buy it. There is absolutely nothing wrong with it. It works great. I just don't have enough quilts that I make to justify keeping something that large in here. So that is going, and I think that will alleviate a lot of my troubles here in the craft room. The other thing that would alleviate that is the thrift store taking donations. They are not, to the best of my knowledge, taking donations right now, and I have some stuff that I need to donate. So some craft supplies and stuff like that. Some not craft supplies, some stuff from the other house that we don't use, we're not going to use. Well, I don't use. This is my stuff. I'm not donating other people's stuff, but so that would help. But slowly but surely, very, very, very slowly, I'm getting there. Kinda, sorta, maybe. All right. Last but not least, I finally put some things up in my Etsy shop. And they're bags, of course. So I figured I would show them to you here. And if you're interested, go on over to Etsy, and these are all up there for you if you're interested. So I made this adorable knitting bear pattern. This is my favorite one. These posh little puppies. I have this really beautiful, who's texting me? Really beautiful elephant fabric. This is another one of my favorites. Some fox fabric. I love the color. Some mittens. Some cats playing with yarn. That's Tom texting me. Some ballerinas, another favorite. And let's see what else. I've got one Disney bag, one sheep bag, one zebra bag. There's one bag missing. Oh, it's over there. That one already sold, so that's okay. And one knitting / crochet bag. So those are all up over on Etsy. If you're interested, feel free to go take a look. If not, I completely understand. It'll just be nice to get some more things out of the craft room. And it'll also be nice to start restocking the doggy emergency fund, which is my plan with that money. So I think that is all I have for today. I hope you guys are doing really well, and I will probably see you next week for a TGIF floss tube edition. I have a few finishes there, so maybe I'll have another one. You never know. Until then, I hope you guys are doing great. Have a wonderful weekend. I'll talk to you later. All right.